Are the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160, 101.1 FM, Indiana in the Morning. We're brought to you by First Commonwealth Bank. And we are joined in the studio this morning by a host of guests. Smiling faces are with us on this Wednesday morning, and we're going to find out more about the Indiana County Veterans Providers Group. And we want listeners to know that this is going to become a monthly feature here on Indiana in the Morning. And Diane Overman is with us. Good morning.
Good morning. We are from the Veteran Providers Group. We are a group of providers that come together on a monthly basis to reach out and coordinate services for veterans in our county. In terms of housing, medical, education, employment. We meet at the Career Link from various organizations and groups throughout the county that support veterans in any way. And we try to work together to support each other on events and, of course, making sure that the needs of veterans are met in our county. One of the big projects that we're working on right now is called our Legacy Project. That is a project where we're trying to reach out to our oldest veterans and document some of their experiences. We feel that their stories told by men and women that served are best told by themselves. So Nathan Miller is here today. He's a student at Penns Manor, and he has made it his senior project. He's also a student at ICTC to work on this project with us, and he's going to talk a little bit about that.
Okay. Good morning, Nathan.
Good morning.
What have you come up with so far on your project?
Well, I've did a couple early versions, as you could say, of this project last year. Basically, the whole moral of the story is our veterans have the greatest stories to tell, and more of those veterans, especially World War II, are passing away. So basically, the goal is to get their story out for their families, for the people to hear.
Mm-hmm. Now, how are you doing this when you talk to them? Are you recording? Are you writing down information?
Yes, I am recording them.
Audio and video?
Yes.
Okay, so that's something that I'm suppose that the families can keep after it's over, right?
Yes.
Okay, what are some of the things that you've learned? Has it been mostly the World War II veterans that you've been speaking with?
We actually haven't had any World War II. I did 2 of these videos last year. One was a Vietnam veteran. Okay. Other was my track coach. He was in Korea.
Okay, and what are some of the things that you've learned through talking with these gentlemen?
I mean, it really puts in perspective what it is like over there. You learn something new, just any story that they can tell. It's really just amazing.
Do you find out when you talk to different people, some of the things are the same?
I mean, every veteran has their own story, but some stuff is kind of the same, yes.
Okay. Now, is your project complete, or is there still work to do?
There's still a lot of work to do, yeah.
Okay, and when this is over, then you'll turn that in for a grade at school?
I guess.
You're going to do something with this, right?
Yeah, something with it.
Okay, well, we want to thank you so much. Keep up the good work, and you have to track down some World War II guys and gals, too, that are out there as well.
Yeah, this is a project that's going to be ongoing. Nathan just happens to be one of the students that's going to help us get it off the ground. We have reached out to homes within the area and had an unbelievable response that they would love their veterans to have this opportunity. We want it to be a good experience for veterans, so it's completely voluntary whether somebody wants to be involved or not. But I think it would, like Nathan said, bring the realities of war and be a good documentation for families to have, in the future when their loved one is gone. I have also brought a few members from the group today. Commissioner Reddick is here. Mm-hmm. Brenda Stormer, who is Director of Veterans Affairs in Indiana County, and Lisa Spencer from the Human Services Department. So they're just going to share a little bit about their thoughts about the group, too.
Are the Indiana County Veterans Group going to keep copies of these?
Absolutely. It will be kept at the Historical Society, and we're also thinking about putting into the Library of Congress, too.
Excellent.
Yes,
very good.
And it will be offered to the families.
Okay. Brenda's next up, right?
I'm Lisa.
I'm Lisa. I'm sorry, Lisa.
All right, I'm Lisa, and I'm from the Department of Human Services. And hands down, veterans and active duty, my favorite population. Hands down. I come from a military family. I was a military spouse. I have a son who's active duty right now in the Special Forces. And I can tell you that anybody who puts their life at risk on the line for us to uphold all of our freedoms, that deserves our utmost respect. And this is, like I said, my favorite population to work with. I think this group is so successful because behind Diane Overman, she just does so much to kind of keep us all together and get everything. But we really need the community leadership, and I want to really thank Commissioner Ruddick, General, retired. But we really need people in the community, our leaders, to support our endeavors. And I think it's become very clear that this has been an extremely popular kind of agenda for us to take on in Indiana County. We have many veterans in Indiana County. So I'm just here just to support Nathan. I love this project. I think it's going to be wonderful. And I'm just happy to help any way I can.
Now,
So-
you're also looking for help from the general population as well? If somebody would like to become involved?
Well, we have put together a rack card that we'll be distributing through the community and to the homes with a little bit of history about the project, and then how to contact us if you'd like to be part of the project. So that is coming. It's really in the early stages.
Okay.
But we're just kind of bringing the thoughts to the table and seeing how best to roll it out.
Okay, very good. Brenda's up next, correct?
Do you want to go next?
No, go ahead. You're next.
Okay, well, I deal with, also am a member of the providers group, and we share information on our veterans, how we can help them with the different services in Indiana County. But pretty much I do the benefits part of it, the claims part of it, for veterans that are injured and disabled when they come home. But it's a great group, and we do a lot of good, and it's just great to have it. I'm glad for all the support Rod and the commissioners give us for that. We have a couple things going on, and I wanted to mention we have our parade on Monday. It is on Monday, November 12th at 10:30 at 5th Street. Of course, the American Legion puts that on. Please attend the parade. It's a great parade, great way to get together. And also we have our Wreaths for Indiana County project that I wanted to talk about. We've done this for the last 2 or 3 years, and we also need donations, and those donations provide a wreath with a bow to be placed at the entrance of every cemetery in Indiana County to honor the memory and services of our Indiana County military men and women. Those donations can be made to VFW Post 1989, and they can be mailed to P.O. Box 45, Kent, PA 15752. And then a wreath-laying ceremony will be at noon on Saturday, December 8th, in front of the courthouse wall. And our local Indiana Christmas Tree Growers Association do provide those wreaths for that ceremony. And the remainder of the funds then are given to the Veterans Relief Fund through the VFW. So those are just a couple of things that are happening here in Indiana County. And thank you very much for having us and for your support.
Do you have a phone number, or if somebody would like to find out more information on how they can receive some help and benefits for veterans, where they can call?
Yeah, my phone number in my office is 724-465-3815. Just give us a call. We'll set up an appointment, and hopefully we can help you.
Okay, we will do that.
Thank you.
Next, we want to speak with Commissioner Ruddick, back with us again this morning. You were just here, weren't you?
Well, yeah, that was yesterday morning, Chuck.
Seems like yesterday, Rod. I mean,
Well, I think it's always great to have an opportunity to speak about some quality time in Indiana County, and we have that with this group. Just a little bit of history. Brenda Stormer really is our veterans coordinator for Indiana County. She's the lady that really provides hand-on, face-to-face support to our veterans in need for benefits. What we realized was that when we were developing the community gardens, which is the homeless shelter, that there was a need to really surround ourselves with the individuals through our Human Services Division to connect more broadly to the veterans of Indiana County. And Diane came on board and has done a marvelous job with the Veterans Provider Group. I would say we're the only county in Pennsylvania that has this kind of a program. We meet on a regular basis. We have tried to extend and expand our outreach to veterans to let them know we care about them. A lot of things happen through our VFWs, our legions. They do a monumental job also in making things happen in Indiana County. But it's people like Nathan, who is here today, who is a student of Penns Manor. And this speaks a little bit to one of the things we talked about yesterday. We were talking about how do we get students into the workforce. And the best way to get them into the workforce is to give them exposure to the workforce as quickly as we can. And this is an opportunity for Nathan really to practice something he believes in, and someday he'll be like Josh, who at one time did the same kind of thing when we were at Indiana High School a number of years ago, and he has become a member of the community through his Renda Broadcasting team. So Nathan someday will have his own business, I'm sure, his own legacy, so to speak. We're anxious to see that happen. And by the way, that's an important part of Indiana County, the historical connection. We do a lot of things to honor veterans, but sometimes we forget about capturing their voice, capturing their emotions, capturing who they were, and capturing what their family had to deal with in very difficult times, particularly the World War II generation, which is quickly diminishing, as we know. But we want to capture some experiences from all the different kind of wars that would suggest we are looking at the entire population of Indiana County. We want to make sure we support them in total. So.
Now, you mentioned the homeless shelter. Is that the facility in Chevy Chase?
Yes, it is.
And how is that going?
It's going very well. I believe, Diane, you want to speak to that?
Last report that we had, it was completely full. We have a meeting this afternoon, so we'll get a report on that. But we also have a homeless shelter, which is across from the Rustic Lodge, and that is funded differently than the community gardens. So it's works really well to even bridge veterans from one facility to the other facility. Another thing is we do have a Facebook page called Indiana County Veteran Providers Group, where we do post all events and information that comes from the group. It is a very active group. We do keep in contact with each other. I think just over the weekend we had somebody post that a veteran was in need of some type of heating for his home before he could get tapped into some resources to fill tanks to keep warm, and quickly the group had several ideas and he was able to be attended to very quickly. So that's the kind of things that are really important, that we're reaching out and meeting the needs of veterans.
Do you find that the recent veterans from the recent conflicts, they're the ones that are the least likely to become involved in a organization like this?
We actually have had a lot of young veterans come. I think the organizations are changing a bit from the VFW to like Red, White, and Blue team. So, I'd like to bridge those a little bit and bring them together because they both do just tremendous work. But I feel like we get such strong support from both groups. And that's kind of the role of our group, is to support those groups in what they do and how they work with veterans too. So, but we do have a lot of events coming up in November. So we will be back again next month, and maybe even sooner.
Okay.
Talk to Todd, because there are some events that are coming up quickly. But please come out and enjoy them. The events are tremendous. They're heartwarming, and it's just a wonderful. It's a wonderful feel to be around veterans and hear their stories.
All right. Well, we want to thank this group for stopping by. And again, as you mentioned, this will be a monthly feature with the Indiana County Veterans Providers Group here on Indiana in the Morning.